Hi everyone, I'm Amy from Curry Bodyworks and I'm going to do a really quick session for anyone who is living with any kind of soreness or stiffness or discomfort in the lower spine, lumbar spine, sacral joint or hips. So come and join me, it won't take long. All I have is a towel that I've been able to fold up to put underneath my head when I need to. You don't have to have that, but if you do have one, grab it, and let's get started. So we're going to start on our back, laying down, and I just want you to bend your knees and have your feet flat. I don't have a towel behind my back of my head at the moment because I want us to come up into a bridge. So I want you to have the back of the head flat down on the mat. So your feet are slightly apart, facing forward and parallel. Your knees are in line with your hip joints, so in the middle of the thigh hip joints, okay? So don't let them spay out or coming in towards each other, just have everything aligned there. And I'd like you to bring your pelvis into a neutral position. So think about the two ASIS bones, the two bony bits on either side of the pelvis here and the pubic bone. I want them to be all aligned in the front of the body. And for many, what that may mean is you have the lumbar spine slightly off the mat. Okay, not everybody, but for many. Reach the arms down and just lengthen the fingertips towards the heels. And just take a few breaths in here and just sink into the mat a little bit. Take a big breath in through the nose, really long breath. Then as you exhale, slowly breathe out through the mouth and just feel a little bit heavier through the body. Try and maintain that neutral position, and again, big breath in. Slowly exhale. Relax the upper body, relax the jaw, relax the neck, breathing in. Belly rises, and as you exhale, again, just allow everything to feel a little bit heavier on the mat. And on the out breath here, we're going to move, so take a breath in. And as you breathe out, I want you to think about pulling the sternum and the pubic bone together a little bit, and as you do that, the lumbar spine connects through to the mat. Start rolling through the spine, pushing through the heels, lifting the glutes just a little bit up off the mat, not much, so it's just a tiny bit of clearance, and then inhale as you roll everything back down again. We'll just do a couple more like that, so back into your neutral position, front of the pelvis, two ASIS bones, pubic bone aligned. Exhale, connect. Push the lumbar spine down onto the mat, roll through the spine, push through the heels a little bit, and just lift the glutes off the mat, and inhale. Each vertebrae of the lumbar spine comes back down again, back into your neutral position. One more. And then we're going to go a bit higher. Exhale, connect through the front of the body, lumbar spine down, push, lift. So just make sure that the inner thighs are still working, not letting the knees come out to the side, keep everything aligned. And this time we're going to come a little bit higher. If you have osteoporosis or any kind of bone condition, maybe just stick to the lower lumbar spine curl. If not, then you can come up a little bit higher. So lifting up through the spine, coming up to a nice diagonal position of the knees, hips and the shoulders. Take a breath in. And then slowly just start from the sternum, push down through the back of the rib cage. And I want to feel every single vertebrae of the spine as I come down onto the mat. All the way through, including the lumbar, back into your neutral position, and again breathing in. Then exhale, connect through the front, roll through the spine, push through the heels, lift the body up, keep the inner thighs working. Reach, take a breath, and exhale down. Just going to do two more like that. Just don't be in too much of a rush. Don't worry if you're swaying around a little bit. Don't have to come up so high, you can keep it low. Just work within the range that you feel that you want to. Take a breath and slowly down. Mobilize the spine, rolling through all the way to your neutral position, and then hold the pelvis in neutral and walk the toes and the heels towards each other. I'm just going to take the arms a little bit further away from the body, but my lumbar spine is still slightly off the mat with my rib cage down. So keeping my feet together as I exhale this time, I'm just going to take my right knee and take it out to the side as far as it will go. Left knee stays at 12 o'clock, and then lifting back up again. So the knees are touching over to the other side. Take it out to the side, as far as you feel comfortable. And then using that side body stabilize, coming back up again. You want to try and ensure that the trunk and the pelvis are staying still, so you're not rocking over to the side. Okay, you keep it in exactly the same position as you take the knee out for when you bring it back in again. So everything is nicely centralized and weighted in the back of the pelvis. And lift. We'll do 2 more on each side. And just breathe as you move. Okay? Just breathe as you move. Just breathe. Breathe. Breathing's good. We all need to do a bit more of that. And up. Over to the other side. Last set. And lift. And then open. And lift. And then the good old single leg. So just pull the right leg in. I'm grabbing underneath. So underneath the knee. If you've got knee issues, then this is a good way to do this. Pulling in and just a gentle tug on here. Alternatively, if you feel okay in the knee, you can hold here. Okay, otherwise just pulling in, nice little tugs, couple more. And take that down over to the other side. And again, little tugs. And then hold. And then bring the other leg in, and again just bringing the knees in towards the chest. And you see I'm just lifting the lumbar spine a little bit off the mat. I'm using my arms. Okay, I'm using the force of my arms to pull my body up. And then take the legs down. And I'm going to turn onto my side. So this is when I grab my towel, but if you don't have one handy, this is also fine, okay? But if you have shoulder issues and your shoulder doesn't like being in that position, then take the arm in front and put a towel underneath, okay? So this can be here or here, but I just want you to reach the front, the top arm ahead as well. So if your arm is in front of you, just place each hand on top of each other. My knees are together and stacked, and my hips are on top of each other. So I'm nice and long through the spine. My heels are in line with my sit bones here, okay? Right, so we're just going to do a little bit of chest openings from here. So take a breath in, and as you exhale, I want you to lift the arm and just watch it go as you breathe out, and just go as far as you feel comfortable, but watch it go, and you'll find you get a little bit more rotation using your eyes. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, come back. Take a breath as the hands touch down. Breathing out, 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 out. Big breath, reach back. Breathe in. So when you breathe in at this point, just think about that all of the muscles around the rib cage are being used, intercostals, everything that connects into the rib cage. 2 more on this side. Exhale up. Reach, inhale. And again down. And last one, take a breath in and open. And reach, take a breath, reach, and exhale. Come back in to the centre. I'm just going to turn myself back onto my back. I'm going to leave the towel in here because we just do a little bit of movement into the hips. So just figure of 8. Again, I bring both of my knees in, so you can do that one at a time if you wish, if you're feeling a bit uncomfortable in the spine, and just big circles round. So I'm pulling the knees as closely in towards the body as I can. Couple more. Nice round circles. So think about the movement that you're trying to get is in the hip joint here, and then reverse the other way. Reach and round. Reach and round. That's it. Nice movement into the hips, nice movement into the sacral joint. Take the feet down, and then I just want you to turn the other way. I'm going to put my head down the other end so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so my knees again are stacked, feet are stacked, hips are stacked, spine's nice and long, arm in front nice and long. Taking a breath in And then as I exhale, creating some movement so I can breathe in some space. As you breathe out, create a little bit more space for that movement. Inhale here, remember, big breath in. And exhale back. And again, breathing in. And then breathing out as you rotate. Take a breath in here. Big breath. Open up. Exhale down. Take a breath. And exhale, open. Big breath in. And down. And last one. Breathing out as you move. Breathing in as you hold and reach. And exhale again as you bring the arms over, just creating that nice openness of the chest. So I'm going to just bring myself up into a seated position, swinging the legs around, getting rid of that, don't need it right now, and bringing my legs into a diamond position. So I'm just letting the knees drop to the side and the feet are together. So try not to bring your feet so close in towards each other that this happens in the spine. Okay, give yourself a bit of a break and just allow the feet to go long. The other thing to do is sit on your towel. Okay, so if you struggle sitting up, which a lot of us do because of tightness in spines or hamstrings or whatever it might be, okay, it's a common thing. Just help yourself out. Sit on a towel. I'm grabbing hold of my shins, okay, so halfway up the ankle, past the ankle, and I'm nice and long through the spine and just pulling the chest forward as I take the shoulders back and just extending just for a moment. And then as I breathe out, my chin is going to come down towards my chest and I'm going to push my pelvis posteriorly back, so I'm pushing backwards to create this curvature of the spine. And then inhale, grabbing on to the legs, using that connection with the legs to come up, look up, breathe. So I'm not looking all the way up here, I just have my chin lifted and I'm pulling the chest forward. And then exhale, chin comes down, push back. Take a breath in and exhale, lifting up, sitting tall and lengthening, reaching up as ever. When you're trying to do something at home, there are children and puppy dogs and ovens going off and all sorts, and down. Scooby, yeah. Can you just turn the oven off and the timer off for me? Yeah. Thank you. And lifting up, reaching up. And last one, taking the chin down and pushing back and just allowing yourself to drop the spine back and hold just there for a moment. And lifting up nice and tall and sitting up into a nice length and neutral spine. So last movement here, we're going to do again some rotation into thoracic spine. Okay, so I'm going to take the towel out again and place it to one side and then just come onto hands and knees here. Okay, so if you have difficulty with the wrist, come down onto your elbows. Okay, if you find that being in flexion of the wrist here is tough, then that's cool. That's perfectly fine. You'll get the same rotation in this position. So what I'm going to do here is just leave one of my hands on the mat, pick up the other one and just feed it in behind. And I'm just going to reach the hand through and drop my shoulder down. Okay, and breathe here. So as I reach my bottom arm forward, it gives me a nice amount of rotation. Take a breath. And out. And a breath in. And out. If you want to get a bit more rotation, you can walk this hand slightly forward and push on it, and it will open it up a little bit more if that feels comfortable. If not, just leave it down in front and take a breath, and then pulling up, coming back onto all fours, and we're going to do the other side. And dropping down to the other side, reach across. There would have been a time where I would have stopped the video and tried and done it again, but do you know what? I'm so used to working from home now, and the constant little visits by everybody in the household that it just doesn't matter, does it? and breathe. Remember, take the hand and just push on that hand if you want a little bit more rotation, only if it feels good. And then lifting back up again, taking the hands down. So we're just going to push back into a rest position. If your knees don't like flexion, what I suggest you do is reach forward and have a nice stretch with a nice flat spine. This is also good for anyone with osteoporosis or any kind of bone conditions, weakened conditions, keeping the spine nice and long. Or alternatively, if you feel comfortable here and you have no issues with knees and bones, then just bring the bum down to the heels. And equally, if your shoulders don't like extension, this is also a nice place to be. And just breathe here. And this comes to the end of my very brief back care session. I have no idea how long it is, but I don't think it's very long. Take a breath in and just roll yourself through your spine, either in a high kneeling position or with your knees fully flexed here. And that is it. So give that a go in the morning, or after you've been sitting in your home office working from home and spending most of your time sitting down instead of walking around, because we're doing a lot more of that at the moment, or at the end of the day after being in the gardening, whatever it may be. It's just a nice set of exercises that will help loosen off and care for our lumbar and thoracic spine. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you all soon. Take care.